Hello, fellow YouTubers. Larry WC Stop Motioner here. Welcome to viewers new and old. And today I'm taking a look at Transformers Legacy Deluxe Class Autobot Minerva. This figure was a Walgreens exclusive and was an absolute pain to find. I'm looking for her all year pretty much. And she is one of those characters I'm more okay with being a Walgreens exclusive, since there's really only a select group of people who will want her, and I feel they'd be a little less annoyed by having to go to Walgreens. I mean, really, they should just all be at mass retail, but I feel that they have to have exclusives, which I know they do. She's probably one of the better options. But I wanted to get her because I wanted a version of this mold, and I feel she's important to have, being the very first female Transformer to get a toy. I had a hard time finding her, but then I finally went to Austin Toys Jax, and I was able to get her for $29. I don't regret paying that at all, so yeah, with that long rant out of the way, let's go in and get into the review itself. So for the packaging, of course, she's got the stupid windowless box. There she is right there. There she is on the side. Standard Legacy artwork. She is in robot and vehicle mode. Transforms in 14 steps. And no barcode on this. QR code, to scan on this one. So I just don't have to worry about that. But anyway, let's get her open. Let's see. Okay. Come on. Don't be a pain. Ah, thought you could get me this time, didn't you, extra tape? Okay. That extra tape just always annoys me. Alright, there she is. So, let's get into it. Okay, so here we have Minerva in her vehicle mode. And it's a pretty nice little alt mode. I know she's a medic, but this can't be an ambulance. This thing is not big enough to fit a patient in the back. So, not quite sure what it's classified as. But she's got the removable light bar, and to be honest, I'm not 100% sure why they keep doing this. Maybe it's just for people who want it as a normal vehicle and not as an emergency vehicle. That's all I can come up with. Because otherwise, I'm just like, why would you want to remove that? I don't really see the need to get into weapon storage because it's just pretty standard on this figure. It's like just put it on top or side. Paintwork is pretty nice. It's mostly white, but I feel like it has enough red and blue on it to kind of break it up and still make the color scheme pop some. There are definitely some details that I wish were here, like some paint on the headlights here and on the bumper. She is definitely crossing into shell former territory. She's not the most extreme case, but just in the sense that most of the robot mode is just on the bottom there. Yeah. She is a form of a shell former, but at least the legs and the arms are visible on the vehicle mode. Unfortunately, the feet are. That's a bit of a bummer. But I guess they just couldn't think of anywhere else to put them. Now she's got peg on wheels. And she doesn't really roll the best, but in fairness, I could have something misaligned. And another thing I want to mention, this doesn't feel super cohesive. Like this part right here feels like it's just sitting up a little too high. Like it's as far as it can physically go, but it just feels like it should go down further. So this section right here isn't elevated. Like it feels like it should be more lined up. So that's a bit of a bummer, but it's a nitpick. I still like the alt mode overall, just have some little issues with it that I felt I should mention. So I guess that pretty much does it. Now we can get on to the transformation. Of course, if you have Alita 1, you know how this goes. But if I haven't reviewed a version of the mold on this channel, I'm covering the transformation. So just go ahead and disconnect the legs here. Fold out the feet. And then just kind of disconnect the legs, straighten the legs out. Make sure you have this all straightened so then you can fold this back. Just come right here, just untab those, and then just come here, untab the arms, and go ahead and fold this up. Rotate the waist. Now she's got a tab right here and it lines up with this opening right up in here. See, I don't know how well you can see that. There's just an opening right there. And it does squat basically for keeping it on. But it's not a completely hopeless floppy mess. So just go ahead and rotate the wrists. And there you have Minerva in her robot mode. And robot mode, I honestly really like. First off, we'll talk about the head sculpt. Now, I know she's supposed to be a headmaster. It's a bit of a bummer they couldn't have implemented that, but to be honest, I don't really care about headmasters that much. Sorry, I'm just, it's not my favorite gimmick. But still, head sculpt is really nice. Got some orange on the face, and some red, some black for the antennas. Did you say antennas in this case? I forget. And the paintwork's pretty good. There is a little bit of bleed over, like you can see up here, for the black onto the white there, and some of the red onto the face. So not too bad. I think it came out fairly well. Now, another issue I want to mention with the head is that I don't know if you'll be able to notice. This will just be for people who have OCD, which probably most of us do to a certain degree. I can't get her to look straight ahead completely. Like, the head just, for some reason, keeps snapping to where she's looking a little bit to the left. It's not a big deal. It's just enough to be kind of annoying. Anyway, before I go crazy. A good chunk of her is red, but white, I mean, and she's got red to break it up. Got some gray on the stomach section, on the arms and the hands. A little bit of light blue there. And she does have back kibble. It's not really that egregious, though, in my opinion. And from what I've seen, this looks pretty accurate to the animation model, so that's nice. I'm just wondering if they're planning on doing some form of night beat from this, since I know the original toy was repainted night beat. I don't know. I don't know if that would really work, but something I thought I should mention. Now, getting into her accessories, we have this blaster with a see-through handle. So I can only assume this blaster was originally completely transparent and they painted it black, which I prefer, but I don't know why it was transparent to begin with. So that's fine, but this is not really working for me. Like, I'm not a hater of the clear weapons. Like, I was fine with mainly the blue ones, because I thought, okay, well, it's Energon. They're Energon weapons, but this is just plain clear. It's just kind of boring looking. It's really boring looking, if you ask me. I don't know. I just feel like I could have done a little bit more. But there she is with her two guns. Looking pretty vicious for a medic, really. Now for her articulation, the head is on a ball joint. You can look right and left. You get some side to side. Oh, not too much up, but you do get some down. Of course, her head's just gonna pop back up into place again generally. Shoulders are designed to do a full 360, but of course they're gonna collide with the backpack kibble. They can go out to the side about that far without really colliding much at all, to be honest. Get a bicep rotation, an elbow bends, that when you don't have the gun pointing straight, can go a little bit over 90. You have a wrist swivel, She has waist rotation. Legs can go forward that far and back about that far. So not too far on backwards. They can go out to the side. You have a knee bend. You get some side leg articulation because this is something that people can generally do. And ankle tilt, which kind of has a clicky, annoying thing where generally it's like either that or there is sort of an in-between, but I can really only get to that if I'm folding it, tilting it back up, if that makes any sense. Like, I fold it down, it goes to there. Then when I try to hold it back up, it goes there and there. So articulation, I think it's pretty good for having quite a bit of backpack kibble. So let's see. I covered the vehicle mode, transformation, the robot mode, the articulation. I think that about does it for this figure. So I'll go in and stick her on the display. All right, so there's Minerva with my kind of extra generation shelf. I feel she fits in pretty well. I might need to move her closer to Override since they have very similar color schemes. So overall, do I recommend this figure? I'd say I would if you can find her, or if you can get Alita 1. It's a solid mold in general. I'm happy I was finally able to get this figure, because I saw the Alita and I wasn't really sure if I wanted it, but when I found out they were doing Minerva, I was like, yeah, she'd be a cool one to get. And I had a bit of a hard time finding her, but I was finally able to get her in. I'm pretty happy about it. I didn't have to pay too much over the retail price, so yeah. Now, I'm not entirely sure if she's still on the Walgreens site for order. I'll have to check later, and I'll put a little text at the bottom of this video here for if she is or not, but if you can get your hands on her, I think she's a pretty solid buy. Of course, that's just what I think of the figure. As always, please be sure to comment down below what you think of the figure. And if you like this video, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and God bless.